Welcome to the Brookhaven Circle, a podcast to celebrate and explore the business community of Brookhaven Circle in Memphis, Tennessee. While Brookhaven Circle is known for its many restaurants, you'll find a lot more than good eating on the Circle, where many service and retail entrepreneurs have set up shop. Don't forget to subscribe to the Brookhaven Circle on whatever platform you listen or watch your podcast on. Just search the Brookhaven Circle and hit that subscribe button. The Brookhaven Circle is sponsored by V2 Media. I'm Mark Thompson. Now let's meet the Brookhaven Circle business community. Welcome again to the Brookhaven Circle podcast. We appreciate you listening in or watching, if you will, if you're on YouTube. And we're here today with Chuck Taylor. Chuck runs the Circle Music Center.
That's right.
Chuck, thanks for coming on today and spending some time with us.
This is a treat. This is a break in my day for sure. This is great. I love it. And it's close. It's convenient. I can just walk over here from where we are.
Chuck's right around the corner.
That's right.
So, Chuck, tell me a little bit, if you would, how you got into the music business. You were telling me a few minutes ago. Good story.
Oh, man. We, let's see, 1987, Scott Lane and his wife, Pook Lane. She's from Thailand, and she's got a real long Thai name, but we call her Pook. And her and her husband moved to Memphis and opened up a shop in Germantown called Shuff's Music out of Nashville, Tennessee. And so Shuff's is a piano dealer, mom and pop music store. They open up in Exeter Road in Germantown, which is right near, if you know where Farmington and Exeter. There's a wine store on the corner. A lot of people know that, and a deli, real popular establishment right there in the heart of Germantown. And so I'm 14. I'm an aspiring rock star. I know I don't look it today, but I used to have the best mullet. I'm telling you, it was awesome. Business in the front, party in the back. Party in the back. I was right there with you. And so I was trying to be a drummer. I wanted to be a drummer so bad I couldn't see straight. And I was taking drum lessons at a store on Mendenhall, believe it or not. A store that used to be called Strings and Things. It was over on Mendenhall. And so I'd drive into Memphis to take these drum lessons. My dad hated taking me. So anyway, it's a summer. It's in August in the summer. I guess sometime in August. Scott don't remember the date exactly. But I'm riding my bike with some friends up to eat at the little sandwich shop. My mom had given me a few dollars to go eat at the sandwich shop. Ride our bikes up there, and I'm up there, and I see this guy in a window unboxing a drum set, a white pearl drum set. And if anybody knows, in 1987, that would have been like Tommy Lee, right? We're Motley Crue, right? This is me. I love this so much. And there it is in the window. And this guy's taken out of a box. I mean, I'm sure it's not exactly the way I'm remembering it, but this is the way I remember it. He's taken out of the box, and I'm looking in the window, and I literally lose it. And I've got my head, pressed. And so Scott opens the door and lets me in, and with my couple of my friends, and little I know he's just opening this business. They don't even have a sign on the door. And so we befriend each other. He's just moved here from Nashville. He knows nobody. And so I become, I guess, customer number 1 or 2 or something. And a couple days later, I convinced my family to go up and buy this drum set. And lo and behold, that's it. That was the start. Scott ends up buying the business from Mr. Shuff, who he opened the business for, him and his wife. And I'd worked there part-time in like high school, and I probably wasn't a very good employee. Scott can probably attest to that. But then in the 90s, he'd been open since 87. So in 97, right? 1996, I got married in 96. So in 1997, I came to work for him. And he hired me full time, and so I've been there. I've never done anything else that I worked at a restaurant before, but this is it. So this is it. So I'm born and raised Lane Music, Circle Music Center, Lane Music, our partners. We have a store in Memphis, our Germantown, and then our Memphis store is called Circle Music Center, which is right around the corner. So that's it. I've been doing it, the music retail thing, for 26 plus years.
Wow.
And loving it's great. I still love it. I still love every second of it.
And you still probably give a good drum demo.
Oh man, let me tell you, we don't even sell very many drums. Truthfully, we kind of got out of the drum selling business. If you've ever been to the Memphis Drum Shop, I'll give them a plug because I love the Memphis Drum Shop. It's the best place in the whole world for a drummer. I mean, it's great. They just have everything, and Jim, who owns the place, is a good friend of ours, and like we just realized, I I just don't think we're going to be a drum shop. So we kind of gave up. We carry the accessories, but we don't sell big drum sets. That's not really our we're piano, band instruments, guitars, and all the other accessories. So we almost carry everything. Drums is something we're kind of out of.
Got that out.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a good move.
That's a good move. That's what you said. You're telling me the story. Yeah, absolutely.
My older brother played. He had a Pearl set with the double basses.
Oh, yeah. I love this guy.
Zildjian
I love this guy.
I love that guy too.
I'm in.
But not when it was 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon after school, and your brother wants to do what amounts to an hour-long drum solo. Like, please no.
Well, my father shares the same sentiment as you, I promise. Because band practice was always at our house when we were playing music growing up. It was always at our house, and he worked for the FAA, so he always worked weird hours, and he'd come in and like, here we are, banging out the next Motley Crue song or Van Halen song, and anyway, he was time for a nap. So anyway,
we heard a lot of Rush.
Oh yeah.
A lot of UFO.
Oh, you're going back. Yeah, late 70s. Yeah, late 70s. There you go.
Old stuff, and they had band practice. It was more like a band party.
Yeah, well, it had to be at your house because he was the drummer. Absolutely, exactly. I love it. It's the rite of passage for the drummer. It's at his house.
A guy named Bobby Roach. That played a mean guitar.
There you go.
And they're rocking it.
Too cool.
So. How long have you been on Brookhaven Circle?
Well, the store started. To give you just a little background, Lane Music in Germantown is a Kawai piano dealer. That's our dealership. That's our main focus. There is that Kawai piano, and we sell some other brands, but Kawai is the dealership there. And so Scott Lane again. He lobbied like crazy to be the Yamaha dealer, but they're not totally on board with the same owner of a store having two big lines. It'd be like selling Toyota and Honda on the same lot. They don't love that. Yeah. So he lobbied, and finally in '97 was able to encourage them or secure the Yamaha piano dealership. So we started in Highway 64 in 1997 in Germantown. We were going to be out there near the mall, like everybody else. We thought that was the spot. Yeah. And so we were out there until 2005. And in 2005, we started looking at where are we selling most of our pianos? Where are these piano purchases, which is our biggest ticket item in our stores? Where are they being sold? And it was 38117, 38118, 38120. I mean, it was in East Memphis. And we were like, we got to get over there. I mean, so we looked and found a property at 5237 Poplar, which was the old Mattress Firm building, which is right there on Poplar. Yeah. And at that time, it was sublet from Mercedes-Benz, and it was their original building. And they had a garage on the side. So we put the pianos on one side, and we went in the garage and made this cool guitar garage. And we had this, you go buy your guitars in the garage, pianos on the side. They didn't interfere. People could play, and wouldn't separation of church and state.
Rock on.
Worked great. And then in 2015 or 16, I think in 15 was when we made the purchase, but we were looking to buy a building, because we wanted to own the property versus pay rent if we could. We looked all up and down Poplar in this corridor, and there was nothing. And finally, this building comes up for sale, which was the old Memphis Modern Music Audio, which I think was there originally. A&I Travel, the travel agency, was there. And then Scott Fleming of Fleming Architecture was on the back side of that building. And so we ended up striking a deal with the owner of the building, and we purchased it in 16, or I think in 15, but then we moved in 16.
Yeah.
So we've been here since 2016, I guess 7, 8 years. We're going strong.
Been a good move for it.
Oh, it's great. It's great. We have the little plug. We got the front ready for a tenant. The front of the building, if you drive down Poplar and you see For Lease, that's not us. It's our building. We do want to lease it, but it is not our space. Our space is secure, doing just fine. We just need the 5,000 whatever square foot's on the front.
On the front
lease.
side.
So yeah.
So if you're looking for space,
come on. We're ready.
Poplar and Brookhaven.
Poplar and Brookhaven, primo spot. We are on Poplar. Your address is Poplar Avenue.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you got good parking.
Well, yeah, we do.
Well, during the day.
We do during the day.
Yeah.
That's right.
At night gets a little crazy over on that side.
It does.
But during the day,
it does.
you
That
got
side is
plenty of
crazy
parking.
at night. During the day, we are cooking with gas. Come on,
Yeah.
come on. Actually, the pub works well with us on the weekends. They try to help us police the parking lot to make sure our customers have spot, and we're grateful for that. So yeah.
So
Yeah, we've enjoyed being there, and I think it was a very fortuitous move for us to make that decision to buy a property in East Memphis, and very thankful that we did when we did. So
yeah. So you talk about your customers being mostly in this area. Who is your customer?
oh man,
just
we are a mom and pop music store. I mean, we are everybody from the consummate professionals to the beginners, and we love them all. The beginners are great. They come in with enthusiasm. They come in with excitement, whether they're 90 years old or whether they're 10 years old or 5 years old. It doesn't even matter. And we have them all. They come in and they get plugged into our lessons. They get plugged into our any of our programs we have going on at the store, and they become one of our crew. I mean, we see them it's like a barber shop at the music store. They just come in, hang out, but the kids, I'd say most of all we have kids that are starting their musical journey with us. And we have great teachers. We have about 20 teachers that teach at our store. We have independent teaching rooms, and they just come in and they do really, really well. Yeah. But then we also have the weekend warriors. We got those guys. We got and then we've got the pros. We've had everybody. Usually when the artists come to town, it's not uncommon for the musicians to come seek out what the local music store scene is like, and luckily we're one of their stops, and they'll come by and visit. I mean, I've sold, Jerry Lee was he bought a piano from me when he was alive back at the old store there, and that was a lot of fun. I said, I'm delivering that one. I'm going, baby. I'm going.
Well, you got to.
I did. Are you kidding? I was like a kid in a candy store. I go walking into, the Nesbitt Ranch or the Lewis Ranch or whatever it was, and put in his new piano, and that was a lot of fun. I can't tell a lie. It was terrific. It got to see his at the time he was a little under the weather, and his nurse that was kind of attending to him said, "Do you want to look around?" And I said, heck yeah, I want to look around.
Yeah,
come on, let's look. And so she showed me all kinds of cool memorabilia that you just only would see in his home, which was really cool. So
that is kind of fun.
Yeah, but we have such a rich musical scene in Memphis, and these guys that are out working, playing at Lafayette's, playing at all the Beale Street spots, all those places. They're our customers, and we think of them as as just as cool as Jerry Lee or anybody like that. I mean, these are the working guys and girls in Memphis that are out keeping local music alive, and I like to say that I'm one of them too. We're out. It's a community for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Memphis does have a rich music history. You can go so many places and hear great live music.
So good.
Any night of the week.
So good. There are so many, and I encourage anybody coming to Memphis, go out and hear these people. They are the best. Nashville's awesome. We have a store in Nashville. I love Nashville. We love Knoxville. We love all the Mid-South. But I'm telling you, there's something about Memphis musicians, and they're just good as gold, and they'll give you the shirt off their back, man. These guys are working. If you've ever been to BB's on a Sunday afternoon brunch and just sitting down there, it's just the greatest.
It's just a good time.
It's just the best.
Great music.
Yeah, and Lafayette's. Lafayette's has done such a good job for local musicians. I mean, they just keep them working, keep them in the forefront of our community, and I think it's great.
Yeah,
so they do a great job.
And and they're. Certainly is no lack of famous musicians who come here.
No, they come here. That's
to
right.
go to record at Royal Studio for the sound.
Absolutely.
To
Ardent. They go to Ardent. They go to Ardent. They go to American. They all these studios are still going, and I'm thankful that I get to supply them with the gear when they need it. If they need this or that, whatever widget they need to make the track or the music, Boo Mitchell comes in the store. Chuck, I need this. Chuck, I need this. It's great. I love it. It's
Boo's
awesome.
great.
It's always just the greatest.
We've shot several things down there.
Oh yeah,
at his studio. I love the cool old chaos of his place.
Absolutely, and it's great, and it's awesome. I mean, and if I've learned anything in my time in the Memphis music community is like just go with the flow. It'll work out. It'll work out.
So what would if there's something that most people don't know about Circle music that you'd want to tell them?
What do we not know is that there's I know where all the bodies are buried. Okay, I mean, I know where the gear is. If you're looking for something, come check me out. You got to talk to me though. I'm not just gonna tell you everything from the moment I meet you. But if there's lots of cool stuff we have 4 locations. We have the store obviously here in Brookhaven, but we have Germantown, which is Lane Music, and we have one in Nashville, and we have one in Knoxville. So if there's gear out there that is what you're looking for, a specific, maybe vintage, maybe new, maybe old, maybe whatever.
Might be something hard to find.
Whatever it is, Boo Mitchell can tell you. He needed this one widget that is called it's a Leslie. Leslie's a speaker that works with a Hammond organ, and it's a very coveted speaker to an organist. It provides a spinning sound that is just magical, and it's been on every record in the whole world. Everything Royals ever put out, I promise you, has a Leslie on it. But there's Leslie's were challenged with an input. They only give you a huge 12-pin or 6-pin or 11-pin or 9-pin cable that goes in, so you can't just put in a guitar. If you want to play it with it, you have to go through this apparatus. Anyway, this guy made one, and lo and behold, I think Charlie Wood, if he's listening to this podcast, I think I got him from him, who's an old organist he lives on Beale Street, but he lives in England now. Great artist, Charlie Wood. If you ever get a chance, check him out. But he gave me this pedal, and Boo walks in, and somehow it's like, I gotta have that. I mean, it's just great. It just works out perfectly. It's just cool. So I mean, that's the kind of thing that I might not have it on my website. I might not have it, forefront, but just come up and say, hey, Chuck, I'm looking for this, and chances are I know where one is, or at least
for this thing.
Yeah, it may not be cheap. It may not be. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll find it.
We'll see if we can't find it.
We'll do our best, and that's what I think a mom and pop music store. Or any business, doesn't matter if they're mom and pop. I mean, my Scott Lane and Pook Lane, who are like my brother and sister, empower me and our staff to like figure it out. They're not micromanaging me to a certain way. We want you walk in and need something, we're going to break our backs to help you figure it out or do our best.
Yeah. Figure it out. Exactly.
We'll figure it out. Finagle. We'll finagle it. We'll figure it out. So no, we let's see. Something interesting we do in the shop that we have a recital hall that seats 100 people. Sorry, my brain. I was trying to think what did I had something to say, but we have a recital hall that seats 100 people. So at the store, which you walk in, you won't see it. You don't just put your eyes on it when you walk in. Correct.
No kidding.
And on there's an auditorium, there's a stage, there's a beautiful 9-foot concert grand Yamaha, and there's also a 7-foot Bosendorfer, which is the arguably world's most coveted piano of all time. There are these 2 pianos in that room. There's 100 seats. Teachers use it for their recitals. We've had weddings. We've had speaking engagements. We've had events. If you have an event that you would like to be on Poplar Avenue in a beautiful setting with beautiful windows and see beautiful East Memphis, come on and come look at our space, because it's behind a wall that you wouldn't know is there without getting an invitation.
So if you need a space like that to shoot a cool video in,
come on,
even
please,
I'm coming to
check it out, man. And great, we can move it. We can accommodate. We can finagle it any way that you want to finagle it. So come on, it's so that's something really cool that I don't think people know that we do as much as we do. But every Saturday, throughout the recital season is kind of in December and in May when school lets out, and so the teachers have it booked, every night until we close, and then every weekend for sure. So
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's cool, and
Cool.
I've done a terrible job promoting it. So, but it's there. So please use it. It's a phone call. All you got to do is call and talk to Chuck or Spencer. We'll figure it out.
Chuck, we need help.
Come on,
there.
Let's go. It's there. We'll figure it out.
I love that. So, in the time that you've been in the business, as a running the business, talk to me about some of the biggest challenges that you've had.
Oh, let's see. How can I do this diplomatically?
Yeah.
The biggest challenge in 2023 is competition with our manufacturers. We've seen the internet grow in popularity, and mom and pops, didn't adapt the way we should have, us included. But I would say, truthfully, we fight with our own manufacturers, and so we sell a brand of guitar that I won't even plug them, and unfortunately, you can buy it direct from the manufacturer, and that has changed dramatically since COVID. Really, we really didn't see it prior to that. Of course, we have online retailers, and they do a great job. No argument there. Yeah, hey, they're quicker. They were quick to the market before we were. So we're still waiting for people to come in and inhabit the store. But the hardest part is really to see our manufacturers do it, and it's really hard to stomach it. It's really hard to just swallow swallow that. And but what we've still learned in music is that people want to touch it. They want to smell it. They want to play it. They want to experience it. They want to they want to interact with other people with it. They want to hear our experts' opinions at our 4 stores or at any music store. It doesn't matter just to us, but they want to hear us talk about why it's a good idea or why it's not, and then we'll tell them. I mean, that's if you want to walk in an opinionated bunch, walk in a music store. I mean, everybody's got their opinion of what is great, and that's all subjective. No. You feel the way you want to feel about it. But in the store, we're going to help you make a decision on what's the right piece of gear to do the job that you're looking to do. If it's rock and roll or jazz, pop, orchestra, whatever. And hopefully you get somebody that gives a hoot, like us or whoever you go see. And that we're going to put something that's not just trying to sell you, not just trying to make money. I mean, we have to make money to stay in business, but we don't want to gouge you to where you won't come back and see us. We want to make it a great experience.
Well, and not only that, you want to set that customer up for success.
Absolutely.
And if you set them up for success, if what you sell them does what you advise,
absolutely,
they're going to come back.
Absolutely. I mean, if you walk into our store and you're a beginner, one, we're not going to put a piece of junk in your hands. We're not going to put. We're intentionally, not just to sell you something, but we're gonna put something in your hand so you can learn to play the instrument, and then we're gonna plug you into a teacher, or we're gonna plug you into a group, or we're gonna plug you into like-minded people that are interested in progressing your musical journey. And that's what you'll never get from the online retailer. The online retailer is a one and done. You buy it and it's done. They're gonna keep calling you to buy more stuff. They're way better at that than we are. But I promise you that the experience you're going to get walking into our shop is tangible. You're gonna feel that you want to play this instrument. You're going to have the best shot at playing it. Fender did a study, and they said most people that buy the guitar online put it under the bed after a few days, and it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, without coming in and seeing us and getting it plugged into a teacher, getting plugged into a music store where you feel comfortable to come in and hang out, you're never gonna improve. So give it a shot and come to see any of the music stores in Memphis. That's what we do. That's what we do. I think better than the online guys. So
yeah, if you want to grow as a musician and be with fellow musicians,
absolutely,
you can't do that online.
No, you cannot. And they're trying, and they've got great lesson programs and great things like that. But I promise that encouragement you're going to get from a teacher like Phil Black, who's been with me literally since 2005 when Strings and Things was kind of closing down. He came with us, and I mean, his students I think he's had a student for 24 years that keeps coming every Saturday to the store. I mean, think about it.
Well, you learn something in his camaraderie.
Absolutely. And it inspires him to go home and practice, and goes home and practice. Or David Lay, or any of these teachers that have been with us a really long time. The only way you're a successful teacher is retention, You can keep those people in there, and I don't know. Teaching is a. If Scott were here, he'd be on a soapbox. You cannot have one without the other. I mean, you need instruction to do that, and you can learn a little bit online. I promise you, but I still stand by music. An actual individual is the way to go.
You can learn a few chords.
Yeah,
you can learn.
Sure, you want to learn how to play the Rush tune on. Yeah, absolutely. You can find a video to give it to you, but you can't find a teacher to say, "Hey, you're holding the stick wrong." Yeah. Hey, your foot's in the wrong spot there. Hey, you're not hitting that drum the way you should. Or hey, that you can do this better and quicker and faster and those sorts of things. And that's what you're going to get from private instruction.
Yeah. Have you thought about trying it this way?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I just think without that experience, you're not getting the whole package of a musical instrument, by coming into the shop. So because it's not like going into Target or Walmart and I don't mean to knock those places, but it's not, we embrace you the second you're in. I mean, you're like, hey, come on in. And, probably too much. Probably you're like, gosh, those guys are weird in there. But we don't. We want you to get involved. We want you to love it as much as we love it, because everybody in my stores are nerdy musicians.
Well, and Chuck, let me just say, it's obvious you love it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could just felt it from the minute you walked in.
There's nothing that I've enjoyed more than my experience in the music store. I've had great employees come and go. I've had great my boss and I are the only two consistent things really. We've been there this long, but he's got my back. I know it, and I have his, and we're a good team. So
I love that.
Yeah.
So you've told a couple of stories. Is there anything? I mean, maybe what's the funniest thing? I mean, do you have a No Stairway to Heaven sign
No, but I should. I got a funny one. Yeah, let me think of a funny one. Okay. We had the Van Cliburn is the world's the United States' biggest piano competition. Okay, and this was many years ago, and the artist, I forget his name. I'm sorry, I don't have his name in my head. But the artist came to GPAC at the Germantown Performing Arts Center, went in and played the piano and didn't love it. Whatever piano that they had, he's a typical. That's not fair. Not typical. He's a Russian pianist, very particular about his instrument. Okay, was not excited about his piano, and to the tune of didn't want to perform, because the piano wasn't at a certain pitch, at a certain level. This was years and years ago. They have a beautiful piano now, but back then they didn't. And so the director at the time was like, "Hey guys, can you help me? I'm in a jam. I got to get this guy to be happy." So we had just sold one to a family in Memphis, and we called her and asked her if she would be willing to loan her piano to the performance, get her VIP tickets, whatever we could do to make it accommodate. Yeah. She said, of course. His only sticking point, the artist's sticking point, was he wanted to go and check the piano out before we made the haul over.
Fair enough.
So I wasn't there for this particular moment, but I was involved in the logistics of it all. But Scott, my boss, who would tell this story way better than me, they all go over with the pianist, the director, all his PR people, and they all stand around the piano, and he plays it, and he's like, "Great, perfect, let's do it." They love it. Everybody's happy. So the man of the house, the owner of the piano, and the man of the house said, "I have got some great Russian vodka. I would love to do a toast." And so this is where it gets kind of funny. So they're all standing around, and they pour these shots. Everybody gets a shot in the room, and they all stand around. They're all like, I don't even know what the shot or the Russian cheers is. Yeah. But they do it, and they all down it, and they all start coughing the second they do it, because it's water, because their 17-year-old kid had indulged, or so instead of being vodka, they put he had filled it back up with water. So so unfortunately they didn't get to do the shot, but it was great fun, and they loved every second. So.
Here's a toast with some good old Memphis H2O.
H2O, and they did it, man, and it was great. But the end of the story is the concert went off, as it always does. The concert will go off without a hitch.
The show
must go on. Freddie Mercury, that's right.
Yeah.
It must go on.
Must go
You know,
on.
and we've had great, I mean, I've done Memphis in May for so many years, putting pianos down there on the stages for Jerry Lee or for Little Richard or Bruce Hornsby or Mark Cohen or whoever the artists are that played there.
Yeah.
You know, we've put them for Elton. And that's not true. I've put pianos in the space where Elton was. I don't think he played my piano, but John Legend. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Wow.
Justin Timberlake. We've had great experiences with our pianos going in places of influence or affluence, whichever one.
Well, when I mentioned other musicians and writers coming to Memphis for
Sure.
inspiration, "Walking to Memphis" was one of the songs I was thinking about, because if you've heard that Mark Cohen tell his story,
Yeah.
he was in a dry spot.
I love it.
And came here to write music.
I mean,
And was inspired by Beale Street and the Hollywood.
Sure.
Which, back in the day down in Tunica, little hole in the wall.
That was a hole in the wall. For sure. And when he came to Memphis in May, Miley Cyrus got up on stage and sang with him. And that's why there's great video content of that online, but he played our piano on stage with Miley. We walking to Memphis, just a super cool evening.
He's got great stories in his music. He's a great songwriter.
Absolutely,
love his stuff.
Absolutely, and a Yamaha artist too. He plays. He is Elton is a Yamaha artist. Mark Cohen. Just the list goes on and on and on. Who plays Yamaha pianos? Yeah. But he is. I know for a fact he is one.
So you guys you hooking him up if they're in town?
Well, that's the kind of the arrangement that we have with Yamaha. If they go within a certain area, if you're Elton, you tour with your own piano. Yeah. But if you're other artists, unfortunately, you don't have a crew that is just ready to take a piano. But if they play out within a certain area, we'll assist with getting a piano for whatever reason. And we had to take one to Justin Timberlake's house at the height of the NSYNC time when he came to Memphis for something, and we had to sneak one into Millington in his house because the frenzy was outside, and they were, and I don't even know what the specifics were, but I remember, do not talk about this. I'm like, okay, all right. Now today, I don't think
it's on the QT.
I don't think it matters, but back then they were hot on the press. Do not talk about it. So.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So what's new and next for Circle Music?
And next? Well, in 2012, we opened a third store in Knoxville, Tennessee, of which we're on Kingston Pike, and it's under the Lane Music name, and we've had a great time there. We love Knoxville. It's a smaller market, but it's really a cool musical community too.
Good to hear, because everything else is orange.
I know, right? That's good though. We like orange. No, but it's great. So Knoxville's great, and then we have and then in 2000. What is it? Where were we? 17? We decided we were going to embark on Nashville. We got the opportunity to move to Nashville and open a store, and we found a great building in Brentwood, and we were able to purchase it, which is even just another awesome experience. And we did that, and then renovated it in the middle of COVID. We had a manager at the time who was just really into building this beautiful space, and he did. And the upstairs space is just a wonderful. It's a 2-floor building. It's near. I'm trying to think of a Cool Springs area in Brentwood, and we've got a first floor which is pianos and orchestra and band instruments, and then upstairs is rock and roll. Man, it's just cool. We sell brands like Fender and Paul Reed Smith and Martin, which is one of our absolute favorites. Is Martin guitar. If you know anything about acoustic guitar,
Holly's got a couple of Martins. My wife's.
It's the one.
That's what she plays.
It's the one.
Her dad bought her one when she was younger. And yeah, she loves it.
So when she cool.
She's had it for 30 years.
Too cool.
Maybe longer. I don't know, honey.
Yeah, I didn't want to give up any ages or anything, but that's a Martin. Probably one of my most fun things that I get to do is people call every day and say they have this guitar or daddy's guitar or mom's get whatever, and I get to go look at it. This morning I was out looking at instruments at a guy's house this morning, and it's fun to unearth these treasures, which are a lot of, just to bring them back to life. We're not much of a like a historical restoration shop. There's great places like that for that in Nashville, but we can get them back, string them up, clean them up, and get them back where they can be played and enjoyed, and that's been a lot of fun finding, and they go for big money, big, it's there's 2 stores in Nashville that are just specialize in that, and so we're small potatoes in that world, but it is fun.
It is fun.
I had a lady call me, I guess it was about 2 years ago, and she said that she had a 1937 Martin D18, and if anybody's listening who plays guitar, they know that that's it. That's like the holy grail of the Martin line, the 28 or the 37. To go watch Vince Gill or any of those guys, they all own them.
Yeah.
And they're just magical in sound and touch. And so I went running over to her house, and I said, that's why she let me play it and see it. And I'm just drooling. I mean, I have no poker face. I'm just it's the greatest. Anyway, and so she said, why don't you take it to the store and let people see it? And I said, okay, let me think about it. Okay, that's a great idea. And so I did that, and I called some Nashville songwriters, and a couple of them that are pretty accomplished fellows, and they come running, and just playing it. We made videos with them playing it. I mean, it was special to have it. And every time they would say, I got to own this guitar, she'd say, nah, I think I'll keep it. But it was fun. But I mean, just to have this instrument in our shop was the great. I mean, people were coming from everywhere to see it. It was just really cool.
That is fun.
It's fun. That's the kind of thing that happens, though. I mean,
right.
I can't order that. I can't click and, hey, I want a 1937. I mean, it has to organically show up.
This is a find. This is a treasure.
Yeah.
In the guitar world.
Absolutely. And they're out there. And the fun part is they're out there. So every time the phone rings, we take it seriously, and if you have an instrument for sale, call us, and we'll come and evaluate, and we won't beat you up too bad. We'll try to make a good fair purchase on it, and
no judgment. If it's been in the garage or been in the closet
absolutely.
Forever,
whatever, that's even better. Hey, I'll tell you one more. I had a guy. We were in the store in Germantown, and one of our teachers was from Louisiana. He said that he heard that there was a guitar collector that had passed, and his son wanted to sell the dad's collection. And so my boss, Scott, says, hey, call him. So I call the guy, and he's like, yeah, it's about 200. I said, 200? Are you kidding? And he's like, no, my dad was a busy collector of guitars, and I don't play at all. I don't have any interest in any of them, and I'd like to sell it as a lot.
Wow. It's a big lot.
It's a big lot. So I said, okay, I could get there in like a week maybe. He's like, well, other people are coming tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, man, my poker face is just gone. So I said, I'll be there tonight. So I got in a truck, drive to Louisiana. I got there for the first thing in the morning. I get up, I get in the house, and I mean, it is like a ranch style house with 200 guitars. I mean, they're packed everywhere. And so I said, look, man, all I can do is inventory these things. And then I guess I'll go eat lunch, and I'll come back and see if we can strike a deal. Yeah. So I did. I inventory every one of them. All I'm going to say is at the end, I drove home with a box truck with 200 plus guitars in there to Memphis. And we had the best time. We sold them. People were coming out of everywhere to see these guitars. It was a lot. It was fun. So
that is fun.
So and those are the kinds of things that mom and pop music stores can do, or mom and pop businesses can do that the big ones, I mean, I don't know that they can't, but they wouldn't take that phone call. Where we're just like, yeah, let's go. Let's figure this out, man. I don't know what I'm getting into. We'll finagle it. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out.
Let's go look at these guitars.
Hey, man, it was awesome. We came back and now they've been gone so long that they're starting to come back and trade. I mean, people are, hey, I want to trade. I'm like, oh, that's one of the. I should have put a sticker on them or something so I could keep
those
up
Louisiana
with
guitars.
whichever one, but they were there.
The Louisiana collection.
The Louisiana purchase.
Exactly.
Oh, we're here all week.
That's good.
We're here all week, right?
That's right. Be sure to tip your
on the way out. Absolutely.
Tip these guys on your way out.
Come on.
So Chuck, this has been fun.
Yeah, man.
Great stuff. I
can talk about music all day. You'll probably have to run me out of here. So
if someone were to want to get in touch with you, how are they going to find Circle Music?
It's easy. We're at 5124 Poplar Avenue, right by the Clark Tower. We're the closest business to the Clark Tower, I think. So when you pull in off of Brookhaven West, you're going to pull into the west entrance, and we're the business on the corner. So you'll pull in the back, and we own the parking lot, but we share it with the pub. Did I say that correctly? We own the parking lot. Anyway, you'll pull in the parking lot there, walk in, and you'll meet me, Chuck Taylor, Spencer Lane. We got Josh, and we have Bradford, and we have Judah. So there's 5 of us, and we run the store. Scott and Pook Lane they'll be there sometimes as well. And we're there from 10 to 6 Monday through Friday, 10 to 5 on Saturday, closed on Sunday. And we can reach us all at circlemusiccenter.com or email. It's easy. It's Chuck at Circle Music or lanemusic.com. Either one is fine.
Yeah.
And then our phone number is 901-937-8484. And we would love to have a conversation with you, with anybody about music, whatever facet. No judgment. Whatever you like, jazz, you like bluegrass, you like whatever kind of music you're into.
Been to the BPAC Bluegrass Festival.
Absolutely. In fact, I go every year to the Chet Atkins Appreciation Society in Nashville, and we're one of the big vendors up there. And I sit there, and Tommy Emmanuel, if you know who he is, Steve Warner, these guys are all there and accessible, just like me and you. And talk about a great guy. Those guys are great. Those guys are the nicest guys, I swear. So, and I get a chance to hang with them for a couple days, and it's fun.
Love some Chet Atkins.
Man, Chet, and he's the reason for his appreciation society. But these guys get together. Let's tell you about a community. These guys get together. Dr. Mark Pritchard put this thing together, and it's his brainchild. And about 1,500 people or so get together in this hotel for 4 days. And I'm telling you, they pick on guitars from morning to night, every minute of every day, and they just love it. And they don't care if you're the best picker or if you are an average beginner or just somebody who has interest. They just want to have conversations about Chet and Jerry Reed and Django Reinhardt and all the people that play that, Merle Travis, the people that play that style of music. And I have enjoyed being a part of it, my little part of it. But it's every year. I look forward to it in July every year.
I love that.
It's awesome.
Awesome. I love.
And we're going to try to bring those
sort of live music.
Yeah, we're going to try to bring that to Memphis and do a series here in Memphis. We're going to try to bring them here, and they're ready to come, the finger pickers. So we'll see if we can put that together next year.
How do it.
I know, right?
How can we help?
Come on, we'll talk about that.
Okay,
let's do it. So,
all right, Chuck. Thank you again, and thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to the Brookhaven Circle. You can find us at thebrookhavencircle.com. You can find us on YouTube or on any of your other podcast platforms by searching for the Brookhaven Circle. So leave comments. If there's something you'd like to see us do, please pass it on. If you think the host is horrible, keep that to yourself. Or be kind, at least. All right. Thank you, and we'll be out with a new episode next week.
Thanks for joining us on the Brookhaven Circle. Please subscribe to our podcast and send us any questions or comments you have. The Brookhaven Circle is produced by V2 Media, a part of the business community on Brookhaven Circle.